It's time for Cats Talk Wednesday. Small town and big city joined forces. Benny Hardy of Lynch, Kentucky, and Terry Brown of Louisville, Kentucky, team up to give you free-flowing, laid-back sports talk. Focus on Kentucky Wildcats, as well as pertinent information in the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball.
And we are live out here, these Cats Talk Wednesday streets, these live stream streets. Terry T.B. Brown.
Yes, sir.
Still repping. I respect it. I respect it. Niners head to toe, hoodie, hat, all of it. I respect that. Raise up a little bit. Raise it. Oh, okay. You got your cousin's jersey on.
Jair Brown. Yeah, when you get a Brown on your favorite team, you got to pull the trigger, man.
There you go. And see, after a little rough outing Monday night, and you still come on like that, you're a true fan right there. No fair weather 49ers
There's nothing to be fair weather about. I mean, it's crazy that we can't beat any team from the AFC. That's crazy. But we're beating everybody in the NFC, so I'll take it.
I'm just happy.
Look,
I'm happy
man,
to see y'all aren't immune to getting a beat down every now and then. I was like I said, I was pulling for Baltimore last week. We said it before you went off. So
yeah,
I'm glad.
Hating from outside the club. But then
absolutely.
I look and I'm like, okay, Niners still the number one seed.
Yes.
And the 6 other teams in the playoffs picture, 5 of them we already beat.
True.
The closest game was 12 points to the Seahawks. So, I mean, okay. I mean, curb stomp Philly.
Yes.
Curb stomp Dallas.
Yes, they did.
It wasn't much of a curb stomp against Tampa Bay, but that was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams going to be tough last game of the year, but beat them handily and beat the Seahawks within 2 weeks of each other. So, it's all good, man.
Yeah. So,
it's not great watching the team get beat because I was like, oh, this is not great. But if we ain't got to play them to the Super Bowl, let's go ahead and do it.
So, it was good to see that, hey, they're not immune to throwing a clunker every now and then. So that's That's like good. And what's the health? Your left tackle, a little gimpy. Brock Purdy had a shoulder. It was, what's everybody's status?
Trent Williams light practice today. So that is good news as far as doesn't appear to be missing time. Appears to be pretty good. Like I told you, in the preseason, I just want us healthy.
Mm-hmm.
As healthy as you can be at the end of an NFL season, but I just want to be healthy. Lamar's that dude. I'm about tired of him carving up my favorite teams on TV, though. But he just makes moves that you just, he made Fred Warner miss on that 30-yard run. I was man, because Fred is all pro and he was able to duck under Chase Young. He was able to slip by Bosa. Like, I mean, these are dudes, right? So,
and he's not even really running.
Yeah,
this year, he's standing in the pocket chilling. And then I was wondering what his longest run was before. It was the 31-yard of Monday was his long for the season. So I'm like, he's just kind of picking his spots. And all right, okay, I have to go ahead and bust out a run. I'll go ahead and do it. All right,
yeah. But for me, it was one of those like, hey, this just ain't our night. I hate to be one of those people, but we did outgain Baltimore. Even while the game was competitive, but the problem is you got to take care of the ball, man. Like we are not. I don't think any team is built to be 5-0 in the turnover battle. Like that's just not how this goes. So, got Washington on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait for the 49ers to win that first NFC East championship. Hey, if Washington can finish within 20 points, that's going to be they have a bragging right on everybody else in the division.
They kind of do. Yeah, they're about the only bragging right they got, but I guess they take it.
Yeah. So, I still feel pretty comfortable. I mean, it was a bad game, but I watched all of it. Just one of those games. Hope you get it out of your system so you don't have it in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, we coming to everybody live, like we said, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Cats Talk Wednesday on all of those. Follow, subscribe. You get the audio version later on Spotify and iHeart and whole 11 other platforms where you listen to your podcast. BS3 Network, bs3network.com, bs3tvlive.com would be on Roku later as well. Appreciate Ben Sutter for letting us be part of the network. Yeah, bs3tvlive.com, bs3network.com. Check out all those sites. Check us out every episode here live. You can listen, watch, whatever you want to do. We got tons of stuff to talk about as we already started. Talking about TB's Niners, got the Cards. We got a listener, longtime listener coming up about 20 minutes, Gerard Baker, who retweets us, watches, listens, been rocking with us for a long time.
Yeah.
Chop it up with him. He bleeds blue just like us. He is from I guess you call that Kentuckiana. I think he's from Evansville, which that's considered Kentuckiana, right?
That's a little much for Kentuckiana.
Oh, my bad. See, I know like Louisville and right across the bridge, and
yeah, man. There's like Jeffersonville and Clarksville and another one. They get mad if you don't know it, but look, man. I'm 45 or 46. I don't know which one's which. No, whatever. You Indiana. That's all I need to know.
So Gerard is coming on, and we'll chop it up with him. Talk about the Cats. We got a bowl game coming up Friday at 12:11 your time. Speaking of that, playing Clemson and Dabo. But since you've been up in Iowa for a minute, are you Central standardized? Are you Central Times? Whatever. Are you accustomed to the Central Time?
It's different
now, or are you?
Well, growing up, especially, you're watching all the network TV, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Like, I'm used to listening to the first number. Like that's what I'm used to. I'm used to NFL, the 1 o'clock window, the 4 o'clock window.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's 2 and 3, so it's just a little bit different. So I've always got to do math on that. Now the good news is those late games aren't so late. You're going to have those 9 o'clock SEC games. It's not as late, right? Mm-hmm. So that's good. But like I was telling you, that bizarre Louisville game last week, 6 o'clock Eastern on a Thursday, and folks that watch us know, we try to start at 6 o'clock Eastern. Well, 5 Central, that's my quitting time. So there's stuff in my job. Sometimes I gotta work a little bit late, and I had to do that last Thursday. I was like, hey, we need to wrap this up, man. Like, I don't know what y'all do out here in the corn. This is a big game I got to watch.
That's right.
Like, this game means something. And look, man, we have talked about Louisville in the last decade since they won a championship, right? Mm-hmm. Basketball team won the championship. Football team has won a Heisman. Their women's basketball team's done this. The baseball team has done this. They've had some good times. They've had some bad times.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. I just don't know what they're going to do with Kenny Payne. It's clear it's not working out. Like, that much is clear. But as you and I have talked about before, there's nothing more humbling than a coaching search. Because every fan base thinks, why would you not want this job? And that's how you end up with Billy Gillispie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get a bunch of people to tell you no, and you got to do something to save a little bit of face.
Yeah.
Also, my whole theory is you can have 2 bad hires. 3, that's what happened to Nebraska football. That's what happened to Indiana basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. We can talk about fan apathy and blah, 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 blah. But I think what we need to understand, particularly at the collegiate level, these things just don't stay in motion. on their own. You've got to have a head person that keeps these things moving. And without the right head person, things change, right? I saw Kyle Tucker of The Athletic, covered that. They had their whole ranking of blue bloods for men's college basketball. That's why whatever your order is, 1, 2 has to be Kentucky, North Carolina. For me, I put Kentucky up there, obviously, because I'm biased, but because when you got 4 or 5 coaches winning, that just goes to show, hey, this ain't a one-person show. We are committed to doing this, to doing this thing, right? Even, Kansas to some extent, from Larry Brown to Roy Williams to Bill Self, right? Kansas has that kind of built-in momentum. Duke remains to be seen.
Yeah.
I know they're winning some recruiting battles, but okay, So I say all that to say this puts me in a tough situation, right? Louisville's my hometown school. Grew up rooting for the Cards. I don't want them to be bad. Not this kind of bad. Bad enough where we beat them by 20 and we went down in the poll. Like, I mean,
and the Cards fans, y'all won the second half by 1, so y'all do have that to hang your hat on,
I guess. I mean, the thing is, what has been like the last 3 or 4? It hasn't. There's been no nervousness.
It's been anticlimactic, man. It's
because I'm like, look, the first 7 or 8 minutes, they're gonna come out firing.
It was up 5-0. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Because people, I clean during Kentucky games, right? I got to burn off that nervous energy. And somebody tweeted at me during the Louisville game, "Are you cleaning?" I said, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
like the North Carolina game. Look, the North Carolina game, I'm pulling stuff out of my cabinets. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I operate. When my teams are playing, my house is clean, man.
What's your ratio of cleaning and watching? How much you cleaning and not watching, or you watching and have?
I'm cleaning. I got, of course I got the TV on. I'm doing it because I need to do something to move. I do that for a lot of big games. I mean, I'm gonna do that 49ers during the postseason. That's just what I do. Also during football, I don't watch field goals. I step outside. So that Robbie Gould field goal against the Packers a couple years ago, I didn't see it live. Yes, I made the 49ers fan video dancing. I stepped into the hallway and my lovely wife, see, the thing is, I talk about how fans are crazy and sports are dumb, right? But I am a part of it. I don't want people to think that I'm just some dispassionate observer when the games are on. I am watching. So this is what I do. Big field goals. I turn down the TV volume. I step out. And then my lovely wife was like, good. Then I turn the volume up and I'm back at it. That's just what I do. But for the Louisville game, I didn't. And it's, how do you get that back?
Yeah. And they don't know. That's the thing.
Everybody, they think they're going to get some names. Like, man, sometimes you got to roll the dice with somebody with some coaching experience and just roll with it. Like you just have to roll with it. You're not going to be like Kentucky was after Kentucky's shame and get the head coach of the New York Knicks to come. Like you're not doing that. Right? So you've got to find something. I love Kenny Payne. I thought it was short-sighted to bring him in with no experience to the Louisville job. I never bought into, well, he's a Louisville guy. Like Carolina, that's how they operate. It works for them, but Where else has it really worked routinely? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at Kansas, they brought in Larry Brown, right? They brought in Roy Williams, Bill Self.
Yeah.
Those aren't Kansas dudes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And since Joe B, and really Joe B is the only Kentucky dude counting Rupp, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You get the best you can get, whether it's an assistant to Adolph Rupp, whether it's the head coach of Arkansas, whether it's the head coach of the New York Knicks, whether it's the head coach of Georgia, whether it's Texas A&M. Was it Texas A&M? I always get confused. Is it A&M?
He was at A&M, yeah.
A&M, or whether it's Memphis, who's balling, by the way. I don't know if you paid attention, but Memphis see that. They Mom be a little happy about that. So you just look, and that's because Michigan football is like that, and it's just now working. Like they want all these Michigan men, and it's just now working with Harbaugh. So I don't know what Louisville does to move it in the right direction, but you can't have an arena with 5,000 people in it.
My sister weighing in on your field goal observance, non-observance. She says she's gonna have to try that strategy TV.
I mean, that's the thing. The field goal against the Packers. There was Robbie Gould had another field goal. There's another one. I don't watch them live.
So you turn it down, and what now? Turn it down.
I mute the TV and I step out in the hallway, and I just let my wife say it's good or it's not good. So again, that's the funniest thing about the Robbie Gould videos. Like I didn't see it live. By the time I step back in, he's jumping in the snow and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, all right, great. I'm gonna do my little dance now. And I gotta tell folks, I only do the dance in the postseason. You know, people like you're gonna do the dance? No, man. I only do the dance in the postseason. I don't do it for the regular season.
Is there a wild card dance, a divisional dance, a championship game dance, Super Bowl dance? Are the levels to the, or is it just?
I usually just do it. There's only two versions of the dance.
Okay.
The one is, hey, we just beat Aaron Rodgers again. Celebration dance.
You might have to retire that one.
That one is retired. But the one I really like, you won't like it. You're gonna go ahead and get your haterade out. Because I see how you got all serious. Because you know what's coming. It's the I can't believe the Cowboys did blank dance.
Oh.
Ezekiel snapping the ball.
Oh boy, yeah.
Anywho, and tell you boy, Michael Parsons, give me hey. Worry about your own place. Worry about your own place now. And that's the thing, too, is, look, I interact with a lot of 49ers fans. I have not seen any serious 49ers fan talk about, well, Purdy just like Joe and Steve Young. I ain't seen nobody say that. This is what I told you last year. Like, he was the only healthy quarterback we had, and he was balling. So what are we supposed to do? Go Purdy. Right? I mean, even this year, I know what his numbers are. I'm not 100% on the numbers guy, right? We all know CMC is the dude that drives this thing.
Yeah, stupid Panthers. Can't believe they sent him there.
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable.
So, anyway, just backtracking a little bit, but I don't know what Louisville does, because they're still paying dudes money to not coach.
Yeah. And the finances getting the money getting a little messed up, man.
Right. You know, because donors not donating. Because you remember, again, you got to go back a little bit. Because when Pitino left and Jurich left, the school president also left. And I need to find that slide. It was like from one year to the next, donations, not just athletic donations to the school went down like 20%. That is unsustainable. Everybody got to go for that. So they are slowly trying to get back to that point. Right? I got a friend of mine. She works in the fundraising arm of U of L. And she's like, much as Kentucky basketball, there's a suite at the arena, Kentucky football, whatever. Like that is how you get donors in the door. You glad hand them at the basketball games, at the football games. That's
Mhm.
part of it, right? Don't nobody want to go.
Yeah.
Like it's not a thing. That is unsustainable. That will get you out the door.
I was reading the article in Athletic, and of course the ripple effect. Downtown, all the bars are empty, all the hotels are empty, and they banking on 20 Louisville home games a year sold out. People coming in to stay,
Yeah.
people coming in to eat and drink
And
before
money.
and after the game, and the bottom line is hit hard right now. I mean, people they're struggling.
Well, you remember when they did that study about because Patino this is way back when Patino got upset because he wanted to practice at Rupp, but there was something else going on, and they did a full-blown study on putting an on-campus arena, and the city was like, we can sweeten this deal because some is better than none.
Mm-hmm.
Because what are you going to do if Kentucky is not the main tenant at Rupp?
Yeah.
You can't pull enough concerts to like,
Yeah.
that's not, so you got to do something about that. So
The
I don't know.
circus and the,
Yeah, that's
that
not
can only happen so many times,
right. So I don't know what Louisville does. I guess it's
Mm-hmm.
the economy. It's like that's real, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You think about the parking people, and I know concessions doesn't do a whole lot, but parking. Some people just go close to the arena just to do it, right? You got people that go before and after the game. Like that's a huge footprint right there in downtown Louisville. So you got to do something. And if you're only bringing in 5,000 as opposed to 20,000,
yeah,
that's felt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's real. So,
and this is year 2 of that. Year 2 of sparse crowds, nobody there. All
and honestly, like anything else, people find other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like people find other things to do, especially in the world that it is right now. And you don't want people like you've got your diehards, right? You've got your diehard fans, but you also got fans like, well, I'll find something else to do.
That's it. We got our guest backstage. Just send the link. Sports and music enthusiast coming to us from Evansville, Indiana. TB says that's not Kentuckiana, but that's all right. Bleeds Blue. We're going to find out about him. Been listening to the show for a long time, and we appreciate it. Gerard Baker backstage in the BS3 Network Green Room. Gerard, man, what's happening? Appreciate you hopping on. Can you hear us, man?
Hey.
There he is. You good, man? You got us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Well, welcome, man. Welcome. This is great. This has been a long time coming.
I said not to worry. Oh, my bad. I said, what am I? Y'all forgive me. What am I doing? I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, man. A little delay, but we glad to have you, man. Glad to have you on. You've been kind enough to listen and watch and retweet and all that good stuff,
thank you.
man. You've been
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yes. I see. This year's been a bit up and down for me.
Yeah. Some a little bit of like a little lag, man. I don't know if what's going on with like we keep hearing you a little later. You may be hearing us a little late or something. But
I'm gonna say Oh, okay. I said so. I thought something was wrong on my end. I couldn't hear anything.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just let you, man. Let's just learn about you a little bit, man. Tell us about yourself and where you're from, how you became a UK fan, and we'll just sit back and listen to you for a minute.
All right. Well, obviously, I see, of course, y'all do know I live here in Evansville, Indiana, of course. But I guess Hoosier country, but so I'm basically just right across the river from Henderson, there's a good contingent of Kentucky fans here. You know, and I'm also a Kentucky native myself. Um, let's see what I said. I've been a Kentucky fan since birth. It's not going to change. It hasn't, and it won't.
Where are you from in Kentucky?
I'm from Hoptown.
Okay.
Yes,
cool. Christian
Hopkinsville.
County.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, you're a good follow because you stay positive, man. You don't be getting caught up in all the nonsense.
Thank you. I said thank you. I try to be because I'm like, look, I decided like a few years ago, I saw these fair weather fans acting crazy online. I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I said, look, I don't have the time or the patience to be arguing back and forth with fans. Let's say it's like, say, oh, this has gone wrong. This has gone wrong. All it takes is just one loss and the whole fan base just goes crazy. I'm like, y'all, what is the point?
So what do you think about this team?
Like, I don't get it.
This year, what do you think about what this squad is doing right now?
Oh, I'm loving everything that the squad is doing right now. I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, and I said, before, anybody that hasn't enjoyed watching this team so far in the first month, because they've been holding on to what's happened the last 3 years, I'm like, look, don't bother watching anymore. I was like, don't ruin it for the rest of us. I love this team. I mean, this team reminds me almost exactly like the 96 team, in terms of speed, in terms of star power. I mean, they're still young and still got some things to work on, defensively. I said, but overall, this team is fantastic.
Yeah, that's high praise. Putting them up there with the 96 team, man. They got the potential though, for sure.
It's not like that dude, the Tennessee dude, the West. Somebody was trying to consider some Tennessee team being like the 96 Kentucky team. I'm like, pump them brakes, man. Pump them brakes.
Oh, Wes Rucker.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So TB, man, I'm gonna ask you real quick, since you the Louisville fan and converted over to Kentucky when you got to UK. How long did that take? Was it like the first semester, or as soon as you hit campus, or because that's 18 years of being a Cardinal? How did that?
That's who it is.
Yeah. For me, it was pretty instant, man. Because once I decided I was coming to Kentucky,
yeah, I think it's Wes Rucker.
Yeah, that's that dude with that crazy tweet a few years ago. But for me, it was pretty quick, man. Because once I decided I was coming to UK, the Louisville family, they turned their back on me. I was the first one to go to Lexington, right? And so back in them days, it was different. So I was like, oh, it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just so happened that, once you're on campus, man, and other people have talked about it besides me, once you get into Lexington, you're on campus, it's easy to fall in love.
Yeah, cool. I was wondering how long that took. I knew I wanted to get that in as well. Gerard, man, let's find out, man, who's your favorite pro teams, man? Your NBA and NFL and all that too. Who else you root for? If you froze up a little bit.
You know what? I didn't have a particularly favorite NFL team. I mean, I enjoy watching the NFL teams that could win the Super Bowl this year. It would, let's say, I say I'll give credit, TV's 49ers. They still got a shot. I mean,
that's correct.
Well, they almost got the 1 seed locked up. I hate that they lost to Baltimore Monday night.
I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
But look, I'm not counting the 49ers out. I predicted 49ers to get back to the Super Bowl to face the Chiefs.
I don't know if the Chiefs going to be there this year now. They struggling too, man.
I say, listen, it's all right.
49ers might get there, but I don't know if Kansas City going to be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Chiefs' problem, in my opinion, I say, look, they don't have anybody else. Yeah, I see, the Chiefs' problem is they don't have anybody else really reliable to catch the ball outside of Kelsey.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I see, but
he's put Patrick trying to hand it to him.
I guess, yeah, anything.
Yeah, Mahomes kind of hand the ball to him, and they still can't catch it.
No, anything could happen.
Yeah, and that's why everybody watches. You get to the playoffs, those 7 teams, anything can happen on any given weekend.
And you don't know what the Cowboys going to do, man. Did he catch it? Did he not catch it? Do we not know how to do a hurry up offense? Who knows, man?
We gotta own that too, man. So much, we gotta own so much bad stuff. We just gotta own it.
I mean, well,
exactly.
This is what we do. Look,
my sister sums it up. She Cowboys for it's December, so we hold our breath. That's what we do.
I said, well, I see. Well, I said on. I mean, well, I see. Yeah, I see. I still got a couple of weeks. Still got the whole postseason to go.
That's it.
Can't hold your breath too long, Cowboys fan.
You excited about the bowl game, Gerard? Cats playing Clemson Friday. I guess that's 11 o'clock UNTB's time.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I mean, I said, look. But as far as the NFL, I want to put my faith in the Cowboys so that it keeps them out.
Every time.
I don't know. But like I said, anything can happen this postseason, so we'll.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out soon enough, for sure. You excited about the bowl game Friday? Kentucky playing Clemson, man. Oh, I think you froze up, man. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, I am. I am. I said I know it's probably going to be a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I want Kentucky to win. I see, just for this, for the seniors, and everybody else. I see, maybe that'll change a little bit of narrative going on with Mark Stoops, which I know this. I see, this year didn't pan out the way we all expected. I say, but look, bottom line, Kentucky's 7-5, and we're going to the 8th straight bowl game. So you know what? I'm good.
Yo, for those,
I also kind of want Kentucky to win because I saw that TikTok video of a Dabo Sweetie. I'm looking at that like, what? It's something about hickory dickory dock. I'm looking like, I've never seen anything so corny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dabo is the king of core, man. But Tyler from Spartanburg can have something to say with the Cats with.
Yeah, he sure will. Yes, indeed.
Well, I mean, all they got to do is just go sell it on the field Friday afternoon. That's it.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And down in Jacksonville again, it was good to see Luke Fortner and Josh Allen stop by to hang out with the team, visit the fellas, and whatever. And they're doing well with the Jaguars, so the team now can just say, "Hey, these guys were just here where we are a few years ago, and now look what they're doing." So good stuff, man. And Josh, I mean, we know how it is, but Josh's little boy getting so big already, man.
I see.
He
Yeah,
was a little
absolutely.
baby, and
I'm
now
glad to. Yeah. I see. No, I'm Jacksonville because for a little while I was like, oh, I'm like Jackson wasn't doing that well. I'm like, why is he still here? I said, but they got it turned around. They're in the playoff race, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they started out kind of slow and turned it around. Lawrence been hurt, and it's just kind of fighting through all of it. Still right there in the mix. That whole division, I think, is 8-7, except the Titans. So anybody can win that AFC South. Colts, Jags, Texans.
Yeah.
They all fighting it out with these last 2 weeks.
Well, the division that surprised me the most has been the AFC North. I see. Yeah, Colts have been a surprise. Exactly. The division that surprised me in the AFC North. I didn't. Don't say. Look, I said Baltimore. I didn't expect Baltimore to be in the driver's seat for the one to be this good. I'm like, okay. I said, all right. I'm happy for Lamar Jackson. I just see. Yeah, I see. He's making it. I mean, he got paid that $245 million contract over the summer. I said, yeah. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all. It's like I'm gonna show y'all what we can do. They're doing it.
They are. And they're, you got the Browns have won 10 games. I don't know how far you'd have to go back to the Browns and the Lions being good at the same time. I don't know has that ever happened since the Jim
70s.
Brown days, man.
It was the 70s or 60s or 70s I saw for both of them to have 10 wins in the same season. The Browns and the Lions.
Unbelievable. So good for them, man. Good for both of them. First division since '93 for Detroit.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that's just.
And Josh Pascal getting to play a lot.
I think I saw where Cleveland had some kind of outside shot to win the AFC North.
Yeah,
they could. They're right.
Never bet against the Browns though.
That was right there on a tee for you, man. That was too easy.
No. I said, I feel you had to do that one.
see what I did with Gerard. You see how he is?
That's it. Always bet on Brown.
Yeah. That's right. Well, Kentucky got Illinois State Friday, and then it starts conference play, man. So, you think they're gonna win the SEC?
Be free.
I might have froze up. If we want to get you to jump back in, jump off, and jump back in. Let's see. I froze up. Let's see if we get Gerard back in here in just a minute.
Yeah, but I'll take it. Yeah, we're gonna win the SEC. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah,
we won 50-11 of them. We're still not going to play on the Wednesday of the SEC tournament.
We're still. Oh no, definitely not.
I didn't even know they played games on like. We didn't play Wednesday and Thursday. SEC tournament doesn't start then. Oh, you Kentucky fan? Yeah, we are Kentucky fans.
Send Gerard the link again. Yeah, and then you which you even sticking your nose up at the Cowboys and Eagles now too. I saw what you did. You sent the same people looking down at
watching watching the Cowboys and the Eagles play. It's like Kentucky men's who's watching Ole Miss and Auburn play. Like, oh, look at that. That's cute.
Exactly. Let's see if Gerard can come back in, man. I'll send him the link again. Try to come back. But yeah, to get the homecoming game for Antonio Reeves, Illinois State. Yeah. And
I drive by Illinois State between Iowa and Kentucky.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because you remember there was that stretch. I passed on the way between. I go by Bloomington, Indiana, Champaign, Illinois, normal what Illinois State is, Iowa City. Like, I'm passing all these colleges.
You say normal?
I think it's normal.
Normal.
There is a normal Illinois. I'm not sure if that's where Illinois State is, but I do pass Illinois State on the way, and like I said, Iowa and things like that. Champaign.
How big or little is Champaign?
I mean, it's a little bit. I would say, from what I've seen at 70 miles an hour, it seems about the same as Lexington. That's what the wife and I were talking about. It's like, you're not going to see too many of these big colleges, especially like the state school, in a big city. That's just not how it goes down. You're going to be in Lexington, in Knoxville, in Austin. You're not going to be in a big city. Probably, maybe University of Washington.
Yeah.
In Seattle is probably one. I mean, UCLA, USC don't really count because Cal's in Berkeley and things like that. But think, IU's in Bloomington.
Yeah.
Ohio State's in Columbus. Michigan's in Ann Arbor. It's not in Detroit. Not to say you don't have colleges in the big cities, but it's just different for the big state schools.
And Columbus, it's not Cleveland or Cincinnati. It's bigger than I thought, for the first time. And when Austin, which, it ain't Houston or Dallas, but it's decent.
Right. Comparatively speaking, Mizzou being in where is it?
Columbia.
Oh, Columbia, yeah. Not in St. Louis.
Like Arizona's not in Phoenix,
Yes. Yeah, you just think about that. Nevada's not in Las Vegas, although they do have UNLV.
Right.
You could just go through, or Alabama. Are there any cities in Alabama?
Birmingham is so.
Yeah.
It's Mobile is not humongous.
Yeah. So you look at all that, Georgia, not in Atlanta.
Yeah. What Jackson does not have Ole Miss or Mississippi State. You got Oxford and Starkville.
Yeah.
And Columbia is not that big. I guess the biggest city in South Carolina, but it's not Columbia is not huge,
Yeah. Yeah. So you just look around, those. Well, Minnesota's in Minneapolis.
That's true.
I did not realize that till we went to Minneapolis, and I was like, oh, but still, it's Minneapolis, outside of Prince.
And you said Minneapolis was comparable to what city you've been to? Or would you say it's like?
It's bigger than Louisville, but it's not like huge. It's not.
Not like Chicago or nothing.
Chicago's different animal. Atlanta's different. St. Louis is different. So there's that. I've been to Washington D.C. That one is just that's the layout of Washington D.C. is just weird.
It's crazy.
Trying to think what other big cities. It's no Boise.
Oh man. See Gerard's backstage. Let's see, still not still not all the way connected yet though. Let's see here. But yeah, that's fun. That was fun little. I like geography anyway, trying to think of the cities and schools and stuff like that. Yeah, UMass is not in Boston, so
Yeah.
all that.
That was why the Metro Conference was so good. It was a bunch of teams from the big cities that weren't the state schools. Memphis, Louisville, Cincinnati, Florida State,
Yep.
South Carolina
Mm-hmm.
was in there. Was UAB in there? I want to say UAB, but like Southern Miss, some of those places. So
exactly. Let's see, Gerard. I don't see your picture, man. I figured you could try to connect the camera or something like that, and if we can, we'll get you back in for a minute, right quick.
But yeah, we got the bowl game.
Yeah, man, we got it.
Just beat Dabo. That dude is corny and whatever, and just beat him.
Yeah. Boise.
Hey, it was still cool to go see the football stadium, though. I mean, that was a pretty cool tour to go out and see, and it is blue. Like it is. TV does not do it justice. But I always think about the poor guy that's got to go scrape the birds off of the field. Because birds come in because they think it looks like water. So some guy's job is to go scrape the birds off.
Unbelievable. Bless their hearts. So Boise, man, is it small to Minneapolis?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Idaho. They had just broken 1 million people statewide population.
Oh, wow. It's out there just spacious. Like
Montana. Washington, Montana. Yeah. I don't think those places have 500,000 people in them. But it's just so spread out. That's the difference. Is once you get west of the Mississippi, stuff's just spread out, man. People get used to going up and down from Kentucky and stuff to Florida, and you have exits. I mean, you're not going to go more than 10 miles without an exit. But out west, you're on your own, buddy. I mean, well, and then is it I-80? I'm trying to think what we took in Minneapolis. I think it was I-80. But yeah, they got a whole thing like where the weather turns bad, like where they just shut everything down.
Oh, they do?
Like you're just on your own.
Yeah.
And Kay was talking about, because she went to school up in Minneapolis, like there's plenty of times where she's coming through, and yeah, it's just different up here.
Unbelievable. Little sis chiming in. She knows what you speak. She took I-80 out to Colorado, so she been out there on that road.
It's 35 north and south. It's 35. 80 goes all the way across. See, with 80, you can get on. Is it 74? I'm trying to think, because I-80 basically crosses the entire country east to west.
Okay.
I-35 goes north and south from Minnesota all the way down, basically runs parallel to the
Mississippi
River,
like
right?
all the way to New Orleans, don't it?
Yeah. I think it may change numbers, but basically you can just get on it and go. Well, they got these two main arteries, and they meet about 5 miles from my house. These two main arteries. So there's a lot of traffic going both directions because it's where these two big ones meet.
Yeah. Hey, Gerard, we had you for a minute, so hit the link and jump back in, and we can get you back on for a little bit, man. Yeah, Tara took it from Kansas City to Denver. So yeah, like you said, going west, straight out there on 80, man.
Yeah, that's what we've done. We went to Kansas City. We've gone that way. I'm trying to think. I can't remember what we did going out of Idaho. I blocked most of that out of my mind. But once you get out west, it's just wide open, man. It is just wide open.
On Twitter the other day, if you saw it, but the the subdivision that just was overrun with tumbleweed. It was just piling up in people's garages and in front of the houses, and just
because you
because you
think
put
it's
a
just stuff in
subdivision
cartoons.
there, and the tumbleweed just still does what it does.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's just
It's wild, man. It is wild. And you see people out there like, oh no, man. Like, no.
Mm. Mm-mm.
When I look at the map of the US, I'm like, I can't believe that people actually live in some of these places. I refuse to believe that Minneapolis became a thing because it gets cold up there. I refuse to believe people settled here because it's like you stopped here, but you heard about California. like because it's getting a little bit chilly now, and I'm like, man, I'm not built for this. But
And look, when Adam Jacoby came on, born and raised there, and said he still gets froze up every December and never gets used to it. I was like, man, if the locals don't even, get used to it, woof.
yeah, it's different, man. You gotta have a game plan. Like, I don't think that back in Kentucky, I know for snow they got we'll stop school, but not for it being too cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, these kids can't wait out here for these buses, man. The buses ain't starting.
Mm-hmm.
That's cold, man. That's different. That's different.
Mm-hmm. Man, unbelievable. So yeah, I got the bowl game. We got what else we got, man? I was gonna ask you too, man, because you got your cousin Brown, Jair, and Tim Brown, and the Brown that played for Kansas back in the day. All the Browns throughout history of Browns and
Now,
sports.
come on, the Brown that played for Kansas, his name was literally Terry Brown.
Oh, my bad.
And he was on the 91 team that lost to Duke. He at one point was the all-time leading three-point shooter in Kansas history until that Jeff Bochy broke it. Other people have passed it since then, but yeah, like you got to know that one.
My bad. My apologies.
He's the other Terry Brown.
My apologies. Exactly. So on Mama B's side is Jason Terry y'all's cousin? Y'all related to him?
We'll take him. We'll take him.
Yeah. I'm still mad about 97, but I was wondering if he was some of your family.
Oh yeah. You see people trying to ask these questions, the social engineering, like, well, who's your favorite, your favorite teacher? Don't use those questions. But my thing is, I've never used my mother's name for anything because it's my first name. And way back when that became a thing, like, what's your mother's maiden name? I'd fill it out to be like, no, your mother's maiden name. Yeah, I understand what you're asking for. So I've never used it as a security thing.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Jason Terry, Jair Brown, Terry Brown, Tim Brown, all the, Dale Brown, all the Browns.
Yeah, Dale Brown, the only Brown to ever letter men's basketball at the University of Kentucky. That just defies belief, man.
Mm-hmm.
That you could grab, 300 people and only get one Brown. That just.
Yeah, that is that's something else. And came close a couple times in these past few years, recruiting wise, and just didn't. They went and chose other options. I think Greg Brown was close to coming here and all that. Yep.
But one thing I want to talk about the men's basketball team is this squad, like that 96 team, is you have to pick your poison.
Yeah.
You have to pick your poison because even though basically, look, I tweeted this out. I can't remember what game it was, but I'm like, we need to put some respect on Antonio Reeves. I understand Reed is putting up just a monster season so far. Like, he's on pace for the steals record and like 3-point percentage. I get all that. And everybody has shown flashes. I'm here for the Rob Dillingham experience. That dude plays YOLO ball, and I like it. Like, I mean, it did to score over that 6'10" dude for Louisville and get the too small.
Yes.
That's my dude, man. That's my dude. But Reeves is just, you're going to get 18, 19, a 30 ball, right? He's like, I'm just like this here. And I'm like, man, we need to appreciate it more. Well, I actually appreciate, y'all know what I mean when I say, yeah, come on now. Yeah, everybody wants to parse words. Well, I actually enjoy, but he's just like this. But outside of the 20 that you're going to get from Antonio Reeves, other people just flash up, right? Like against Penn. Welcome, Mr. Bradshaw. Appreciate you showing up. Like, so for me, there's so much flexibility with this team, and it's like, okay, if you deal with DJ, deal with these guards. Well, off the bench, here come Rob and Reed. Like,
yeah,
that is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about teams being deep, like those are legit starters.
Yeah,
Reed is going to be starting 90% of the teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference for Kentucky. We've always had, and I would say even these last couple of seasons haven't been what we like, but people are going to take our starters. Like you see what Cason Wallace is doing in the NBA now, what Oscar did with his All-American performances and everything like that. But now we've got dudes coming off the bench that will start for you. That's how Alabama football operates.
Yeah.
We can go 3 deep. Georgia, how Georgia got to be Georgia. We go 3 deep with high-quality dudes. Because at some point, you'll wear down. We won't.
Yeah. Just keep coming at you. And that's why I've always said, you got the depth, play it. I know, you want to get your rotation this way, but hey, if you just got waves of talent, use it. Wear them down with it.
And Trey Mitchell has become invaluable piece. I watched, it seems like, and I don't want to knock these guys, but the guys that break down film, I get it. Like, that ain't my bag, but I get it. But, people worrying about Bradshaw and Mitchell playing together. Man, they working it out here. Like, Bradshaw hitting some threes. Mitchell has been automatic. I mean, look, there's lineup flexibility. And you're going to have to play this style to win.
Yeah.
Because even if you're like Penn that tries to limit possessions and all this kind of stuff, it doesn't take much for Kentucky to go on a 12-0 run. That's that spurt ability.
Yes.
Going back to way back when, it's just that notion of if you want to slow them down, which most teams are going to have to.
Yeah. They don't want to run with them.
Because the thing is about these running teams is they get you playing faster than you want to play. And I always think back to, this being a statistical outlier, but that 86-point first half against LSU. LSU had 42 points in the first half. And I think objectively, you're like 42 points at the half. That's pretty good. But not unless you give up 86. It's almost like we will entice you to score this bucket so we can get the ball out and go score again.
Yeah. It's like J.R. Van Hoos on last week. He said, he went to Marshall. He said, we scored 82 and still lost by 30.
Yeah. I mean, you look at some of those things, it's like, oh, yeah, because you want to play that kind of style. That's when your team is very, very good, is when you make other teams play your style. Now, can they play it better than you? Again, what have I said about the Niners? We're going to beat you up for 60 minutes. Can you do it? Right? Last year, I was like, hey, the Eagles probably the one team. I said on this show, I'm like, Eagles one team. I don't know how that's going to go in the playoffs. Again, not to rub salt in the wound, but I'm like, Cowboys ain't built for 60 minutes of being punched in the face. And I'm not saying that they're a bad team. I'm like, that's just not what they do. Seahawks, anybody else. So now I'm looking around the rest of the league and I'm like, okay, Baltimore can. Yeah, hopefully we see him in the Super Bowl. Well, hopefully we don't see him in the Super Bowl.
Right, based on Monday for sure.
Based on Monday, but that's the thing is, and with the Kentucky basketball, you're gonna play up and down.
Got some people hollering at you, man. People shouting you out.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? What's up, Mark? Oh man, that's taking it back. I appreciate it, baby.
Hey man, appreciate everybody checking us out on these.
My man Kentucky Clips shared us on Facebook.
Oh wow, appreciate that.
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
That, man.
Yeah, he just sent me. He's like, "Is that okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." So awesome. Appreciate everybody popping on. But look, the Cats are going to be fine. I know we got Illinois State on Friday. Look, this team is built for this. I think going into the season, what you and I talked about, we knew because of the last couple of years, the pressure on this year's team. It was going to be a unique, even by Kentucky standards, we got to get this thing going. My concern was, would the freshmen, would this team be able to kind of bear that out, right? That was my thought process. Because we have seen Kentucky teams, the 78 team with no joy, right? We have seen, even 96, I don't think was all that fun because after 95, it's kind of like, hey, this is the year to get it done. I don't know if we get number 9, but I feel good about what this team is about. They show up for moments.
Yeah.
Right. I think the lesson learned from UMC Wilmington for this team is you got to be ready every night out. I think that is a very valuable lesson. And yeah, we shouldn't have lost to UMC Wilmington, but it happens. But I think that was enough to get this team's attention. And from here on out, I think they're going to be locked in and ready to play.
Absolutely.
And you see the way they executed. You see the way they didn't let Louisville back in the game.
Yeah. And then, spurted on them and, went from trading baskets to up 20 at halftime, in a blink. Blink.
Same way with against North Carolina. Like, North Carolina game pressure. Cats back out to 10. Whether or not you think they should have taken that 10-point lead, stretch out to 20, I'm like, that's really hard to do because North Carolina's good, guys. North Carolina's really good. Like, I live by that philosophy as well, but the other team's got dudes too. I would much rather 10-point lead, get down to 2, 10-point lead, get down to 2, than now down, 4 or 5 points. We've talked about that before. Team down 10, all of a sudden they up 2 or 3. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot. So I enjoy this team. I think they're going to do well this season, whether they get number 9 or not, but I feel pretty good about it.
Aside from, the game, the Carolina game, as I'm watching, I couldn't help but, my eyes would go towards the courtside seats, and you would see this little cluster because Kentucky virtually went wire to wire almost. And, Carolina didn't get that first lead till it was like 72-71 or whatever. But Kentucky would get up 5, 8, 10. Carolina make their run. You see the little cluster of Carolina fans courtside get up and urging them on. And, we can feel it. We're about to get over the hump. Kentucky hit them with a run, and you see them all sit back down.
Yeah.
Carolina make a run. You see them get up. Oh, yeah. And then, boom, another run, and they had to sit back down. It was so funny watching. I was watching them as much as I was watching the game. Like, they're sitting down again.
And this team is built different. I think they're ready for the moment. We saw it against Kansas. I know that was a loss, but we've seen this team do that. So I'm excited about basketball and football too, and football in the bowl game.
Appreciate I got Gerard hopping on. He said it was sorry if there was some stuff on his end. He's trying to come back and redeem himself, but we enjoyed having you, man. And
absolutely,
just a little bit of a delay, and appreciate you listening before we was live streaming. Just when it was audio, he would be listening to us, and so appreciate you taking the time, Gerard, and we'll get you back on sometime, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
last show of the year, we got to look at the year in review.
Yes, we do.
I mean, we got jokes for Kansas City now, but they did win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. He got Mahomes got 2 rings. Okay.
Yeah, I got to tip your hat to that. I'm trying to go in order.
And he beat the Eagles, so hey, I was definitely wanting that to happen. So and they came through for me.
There you go. I know you didn't want the Eagles to get 2. Bad enough they got the 1 a few years ago. But then you got the UConn winning the men's championship, men's hoops. I don't know if they're a blue blood. That's for other people to talk about. I don't think so, but that's just me because I'm stingy. The women's basketball Final Four, big news around these parts because Caitlin Clark still that she's still tough. But you tip your hat to LSU and Angel Reese and I don't know if I have to tip my hat to Kim Mulkey or not, but way to go LSU. Way to go LSU.
She is something else.
And then in June, I guess I got to tip my hat to the Nuggets.
Yeah, because Jokic can, separate himself from Steve Nash now. You don't have to hear that again.
Well, I told you in real time, hey, as a Lakers fan, I'm happy they figured it out to get to this far. Ain't nothing you can do with that dude playing at a high level.
You see what Bam Adebayo said about him the other day, didn't you? That clip.
Oh yeah, look, man. I know some people don't love the NBA. I love it because it's always a Kentucky dude doing something. Hey, and here's the thing: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander may end up being the best of them all.
Man,
I mean, that dude was, I remember his recruiting class. He was the other dude after Knox and a couple of other guys, and he might end up being the best one of all of them.
Ridiculous. I mean, who they stomped Minnesota tonight? They got the best record in the West, right?
Yeah. And that's OKC wasn't even really trying to win. But you get Shai and Cason Wallace, who's found a nice role early in his rookie year. This is basically like you and I talked about what was going to happen a few years ago, if you remember. The All-Star game's getting ready to come up, and there might be 6 cats out there. Fox has a case. Bam has a case. Shai's got a case. Booker, maybe. I think Cat's been playing a whole lot better.
Yeah.
I think AD's going because he's in LA. And he's been playing pretty well. I don't know if Julius going to get back. Who else
if Murray can stay healthy, he'll be
Jamal Murray. Man, ever since I said he's the dude I always forget about, he's been putting up 50 balls and winning championships, so I can't forget about him now.
And Jamal took that personally.
Yeah, I tweeted out all of a sudden, and then Randy dude with a big blue express I think he heard you. I'm but
man.
Now I always forget about Trey Lyles.
Yeah,
because I'm he's still in the league. You'll be well, he should have come back for what? He's had a 10-year NBA career. That's pretty darn good. Okay, he's not a star, but.
Did you say Fox?
Yeah, Fox.
Okay.
Hey, Fox and Monk lived
and Monk. Monk the other night, man. That baptism, as you like to say.
Absolutely. So it's a lot of cats out there playing, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Every game on Christmas Day was some cats playing.
Nope.
I tried to get in the sneaker game thing. They released the Kobe Grinches, and I got on the sneakers app, and I didn't get them. So I'm you sneakerheads, this is what y'all do for fun? Is they won't take your money? That's crazy. Anyway, little bitter about that.
Yeah, you're trying to refresh, and
yeah. Did not work, but So that was through the NBA season, and then summer is very, very long. Not a whole lot goes on in the summer besides baseball.
Had Toronto this year though. Had the Cats playing in Toronto, which was a little.
Yeah, that was good. They learned how to play without the big man, and now they're bringing the big men back. Give Uganda some credit, man. Like he's just come in after not playing forever.
Yeah,
he's doing a lot of positive things. But as we segue back to Kentucky basketball, because that's what we do. Adu Thiero, he's becoming that beast. He's feeling that Alex Poitras when Poitras was engaged, right? But he's becoming that difference maker where it's like, we don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to come swipe this ball away? Like, we don't know.
He's adding a 3-point. He's adding a 3-point shot. He's still growing.
Man. I love this team.
You know, I like his dad out here tweeting about the you know. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep peppering that in.
Absolutely. So yeah, man, a lot of through the summer, the basketball, football team beat Florida again.
Yeah, and look, man, I get it. We all look. When I talk about this team can win 10 games, okay, let me be clear. I can look at the schedule, and I know you try to win every game, right? Outside of Georgia and Alabama, every team was beatable.
They could have.
I mean, that's the thing is every team was beatable.
Tennessee, South Carolina, Missouri. There's your team. Like it was not out of the realm of
It wasn't crazy talk, and I understand getting frustrated because we didn't get there, but it wasn't crazy talk. Like when you and I were in school, it was like, man, okay, that's
hopeless.
Like, come on now, that was it was tough to get to 10 wins.
But what did Michael Jordan say? The ceiling is the roof. Well, Kentucky,
that's right.
The floor, the ceiling is now the floor. We used to pray for 7 and 5, and now that's kind of the floor. That's where you're disappointed and you have to settle for 7 and 5. That's where we are now. So like MJ, the ceiling is the floor. Thank you, Michael.
And again, like I shared with you, Spencer Hall talked about on the Bomani Jones podcast, like you have a mess season in Kentucky. You're not supposed to beat Georgia. You're not supposed to beat Alabama. But here comes 10-win Louisville. And you can absolutely sideswipe their season.
For sure.
That's
what they do.
We'll see Louisville in the Holiday Bowl tonight.
Yeah, about 15 minutes. Hey. Caleb Williams. Well, he ain't playing, but still, whoever out there, go ahead.
It's not like I told you before we got on. It's not going to be like the '88 Holiday Bowl where Barry Sanders went for like 300 all-purpose yards and 5 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns, whatever it was. The Holiday Bowl was always fun. That was one of those. I don't watch all of them. There's always been a lot, but you don't. But it's either somebody for BYU was throwing for 400, 500 yards, or somebody. I think. Maybe was it Aaron Rodgers at Cal that had a Holiday Bowl? Anyway, Holiday Bowl is always fun.
Ty Detmer showed out.
Yeah. It was always always fun. I don't watch them all because I leave that up to Kerry Lewis to watch all those ball games. I don't watch them all.
That's right.
I casually tune in every now and then. Then I watched, of course, the Kentucky game. But Citrus Bowl got interesting. Milton for Tennessee not playing.
Yeah, and Tennessee is going to get some Hawkeyes this year. We played them twice. Now Tennessee is playing, your squad there, your second team.
Yeah,
from
man.
Iowa City.
You do not want a fresh green quarterback going against because the defense is legitimately good. Now it might be a 5-3 game.
Yeah,
but I was like, this is what we do, man. Like, this is how we operate.
We have to get our girl Camille Gear back on, who has ties to Eastern Kentucky. She's at WYMT.
Yeah.
Now out there in Iowa.
Yeah.
Bless her heart.
She's a ball.
She went to Tennessee, bless her
Yeah.
heart, but we had to get her back on and get her
Yeah.
perspective of the whole
It's not.
Tennessee Iowa
I
thing.
bowl game where my wife and I. She not in one room. I'm not in the other room, and it's like what a that's not fun.
I permission requested. I asked permission to join Hawkeye Nation for this bowl game because they are playing Tennessee, and I request to be a honorary Iowa Hawkeye and hope they beat Tennessee. So,
friend of the show, Adam Jacoby's going to be there. Man, he is hustling all over the place, men's and women's basketball. He's going to the bowl game. I think he covered a wrestling meet the other day. He's doing his thing for Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's always so insightful. I think that's the right word when he comes on here, man.
This dog getting on my nerves. Tired of him acting like he pays a bill.
So Louisville comes on at 8. It's on Fox. Former Kentucky player and assistant Neil Brown in West Virginia are leading South Carolina 17-10 halfway through the third quarter in the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
South Carolina got a bowl?
I'm sorry, North Carolina. My bad.
Oh,
my bad. North Carolina. No, they are sitting
there. You got to turn that up for Petey Pablo.
No, Mr.
North Carolina.
Mr. Speaking of corny, you have to be corny to coach football in South Carolina because Beamer is corny too. Yes. Dabo and Beamer, I mean, two goofiest dudes in the game.
But the one goofy dude got a 2-game winning streak.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes. So we got
don't lose to that guy.
Got to stop that next year for sure. But yeah, West Virginia's beating North Carolina. I apologize. The other UK coach, Summerall did his thing at Troy, had them win like 10, 11 games a year. He's going to Tulane now. He done, moved on down.
The Green Wave, baby.
Yeah. And, a lot of people thought he might be who gets the phone call if Stoops had went on to Texas A&M or whatever. But, I'm glad to see him doing good. You got Stoops tree with, a couple Kentucky guys, a couple assistants out here doing some stuff. So that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But like everything else, it's been a good year. Same stuff happens every year. People look, if every year has been a rough year, maybe it's just you a little bit. If every year, if you can't find no good in this year, but look, it's just amazing. Like stuff happened. Like that happened earlier this year. Hey, time is crazy, man.
Yes, for sure.
In 2 days, I'm gonna have an 18-year-old. Big Miss turns 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. It's 2005 she was born?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's crazy, man. Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
Look, here I am, 29 with 18-year-old. That's crazy.
That's sobering. She's not even my child, and that's hitting pretty hard.
Oh man. I mean, just
goodness gracious.
18? Like this one she can vote?
Grown. Just
grown. Now you go to real jail if you do anyway. but 18, man, I'm in a couple of months I'm gonna have a 15-year-old, 18 and 15. That's I'm too young for all that.
So Little Miss and Mike are the same age. Micah turned 15 a couple weeks ago. So
yeah.
She's born in 08. She's in 09, but they like a month or two apart, I guess.
Yeah. One close to Christmas. She's born that dead week between Christmas and New Year's where nothing goes on. And the other one close to Valentine's Day. So yeah, 18. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, about to graduate, driving.
Yeah, I'm not built for all that, man. Yeah. Too young for such things.
Yeah. It's that whole we were our parents were. We was 18 and they was 40 whatever, and now here it is. We 40 whatever and they 18. Don't take long.
Well,
Don't take
keep
long.
in mind, there's a 40-year gap between me and my parents. My parents was old. They had my brother younger, and then yeah. So my parents was old when I came along.
Uh-huh.
Just a little different.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
I look at that now because I'm like, man, I'm 46. I cannot imagine having a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
That sounds crazy.
that's
I
what
see some of my friends with like young kids, like, man, woo.
Yeah, and that's what they was doing with you.
Oh man, and, with my dad growing up, look, we played catch. It just wasn't for very long. Couple of throws. All right, that's enough.
I ain't wearing my shoulder out for you, man.
Yeah,
I'm going,
like,
I'm going to
hey,
the house.
we got stuff to do, man. Look, my parents don't look. My parents was when I got back to high school, they in their 50s.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Getting close to 60.
Yeah.
Man, they used to call my house it was the museum because it closed down. Look, I told people, you call my house after 8 o'clock, you woke somebody up, man.
Boy.
Don't be calling my house.
Get off that phone. Shut up all that noise.
That's right. Hey, that phone don't need to ring again. I'm like, please don't be calling here. Because you had to. We had no cell phone and stuff like that. But
that's right.
Hey, I enjoy the way I grew up. Hey, my parents were just like, look, you get one warning. Whatever it is. One missed curfew, that's all you get. We ain't got time for no back and forth.
Yo.
You know how you get when you get older? Yeah, I ain't got time for all that.
You lose your patience, man. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but my dad, we did all that kind of stuff, playing some hoops. We didn't actually play any games. We shot some hoops. That's different. Like we did not actually play. let me be clear about that.
Well, no best out of 5 in the driveway.
Oh man, no, my dad's like, we're gonna shoot a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. Oh man, this show was all right. We hope everybody that watched it enjoyed it. Hope everybody listens to it enjoys it.
Yeah, appreciate KY Clips for sharing us out there. We certainly appreciate that. We do this every Wednesday.
We sure do. Live here, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts. On Roku, PS3, TVlive.com. So you can watch it there as well. We everywhere. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, TV. Appreciate Gerard Baker.
Yeah, man.
We'll watch these games. Friday double hitter, man. Basketball for okay. Oh, That's the. Is that the current garnet? Is it whatever color y'all wear? Is that current red or is that?
It's the current. Well, you remember? Okay. So when Jerry Rice played, this was 97, 98. I got that Jerry Rice jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I spent $300 because it's Game Day Authentic. And I bought it during that weird 5-year stretch where it was that garnet color and not red. And so I'm like, look, for what I spent and who it is, I just keep rocking it. Because I'm like, I'm going to keep wearing Jerry. But now I've got some, I got new stuff with the red. I got the new red. There's a it's like everything else. It's not red. There's a name for it, but I got red. But yeah, this is like coach's sideline stuff.
Yeah, man.
My lovely wife, I don't even have to tell her because I'll see like Kyle Shanahan. I forget what game it was. He had this on, and I was like, that's pretty nice. And that's what I got for Christmas.
There you go.
And then the black one I got, Debo and Trent Williams wore in an interview before one of the playoff games. And I was like, "Ooh, that's slick," and she got me that.
And she just took them little mental notes, and
she took those mental notes, man. So basically, whatever they wear when they put the Cowboys out of the playoffs, I'll get that
too. Closet getting too full. We got to put a stop to this nonsense.
Because what are you gonna do? If they meet and the Cowboys win, I said, well, one, that's probably not going to happen. But 2, if it does, that's why I got get these jokes off now. That's what I'm like. You a sports fan? Like you got to get these jokes off when you can.
That's true. You're right.
That's why I call it the dance, the celebrate beating Aaron Rodgers. That's I got to retire that now. But I love that dance. And like, oh, did you see what the Cowboys did? Again, Vinny, I'm telling you, that dude in the Charlotte airport was like, that game, y'all went up, scored a touchdown. I think CeeDee Lamb maybe. And I was like, man, he's like, hold on. They'll be all right. You know they're going to do something stupid. And he went off his plane. I was like, all right. That's my highlight. That's my sports highlight of the year, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that game. Because I got on a plane at halftime. And I got Wi-Fi, but it's not enough to watch the game. So I'm having to do that ESPN, game tracker, which is not the best, right? Try to follow Twitter a little bit. And so I've got screenshots that I'm going to hold on forever and ever of my lovely wife tweeting out the play or texting me the plays.
Oh my goodness. Boy, she's a good one.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Like that's how I watched the fourth quarter.
She just painted the picture for you.
She did. And that was my sports highlight of the year. Because that's if we can be serious for a moment, number one, this is all about people and relationships, right? And my 2 cents on that is we got to be better to each other. Be better to the people that care about you. Don't get caught up in what other people are doing. You and I have talked about you got a Kate, I got a Kate, but we can't operate the same way because we're all different, right? And love means different things. Love for her was trying to text, the end of the Niners Cowboys game. It whatever it takes. So that's my Springer moment.
There you go. Take care of yourselves and each other.
That's right. That's what you do.
Well, we'll put a bow on this, man, and hope Kentucky puts a bow on the year with 2 wins on Friday, Illinois State and Clemson, and be back next week to talk about all of it, man. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
We're gonna be back, man.
Glad you're feeling better. Sorry for my little snotty nose. I was wiping throughout the broadcast.
Yeah. Go Cats, grow Kroger.
Thanks to TB. Thanks to Gerard Baker. Thanks to BS3 Network. We'll be back next week. Cats Talk Wednesday, y'all. Appreciate all the comments too.
Yeah. And I do love how we ain't say one thing about the Dolphins in that matchup. We grade you Cowboys on a curve, man. Not one thing about it. Anyway.
No, for real, we look. You're gonna have to go on the road and beat somebody, and unless they find a way to win this division. But if the Eagles win out or whatever and they win the division, you got to go on the road and beat somebody. And the Buffalo game and the Miami game these past 2 weeks, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be realistic. Yeah. Like Lawrence Taylor said when he sacked that dude for the Jets, son, y'all got to do better than this. We gonna do better than this if we want to go on the road in the playoffs and beat somebody, because you ain't nothing but good teams. Everybody's good.
Yeah.
And even if it's, every year you got some division that's trash. You go the AFC South, the NFC South. You might have to go to Atlanta, might have to go to Tampa and play 8 and 9, whoever. You better go beat them because they get the host and we don't. Because they won their division.
Yeah,
we seen what happened when New Orleans went to Seattle, and you gotta lace it up and play, and we gotta figure it out. So
it's all good. That's why we come together on the Cats.
That's right. You could have. It was nice of you not to bring that up, but yeah, they gotta play better. They battled back and took the lead, but then, you give up the field goal. And homeboy was kicked like 15, 60-yard field goals that game, man. He was killing us.
Yeah.
So hats off to that kicker, man, because he was whatever. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Got a good Detroit team coming into Dallas. Now we play great at home, but they the best they've been in 30 years. So you better.
I don't want to live in a world where the Detroit's actually good. I'm afraid that Detroit may come to Levi's and put us out, but I ain't got to worry about Detroit, man. Trade-off. Lions are good. Pistons ain't.
Oh, man, I want to talk about. Oh, I hate we didn't get to talk about them, dude. What, 27 straight?
Hey,
and
I tip my hat to Detroit fans. If you realize in the last 15 years, all four of their pro franchises have set some kind of losing record.
Yeah, we sure had the Tigers.
The Tigers had that one. Like, I think if not, I mean, they lost 100 games, so it's close to the record. And then the Red Wings only won like 15 games one year. And then the Lions 0-16. And now the Pistons, like,
wow. And this was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I saw, this was when this current losing streak for Detroit was, still young.
Yeah.
They have had 3 separate 11-game losing streaks in a calendar year. That's hard to do. But
when somebody point out that the Arizona Diamondbacks have a win more recently than the Detroit Pistons, yikes.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, we got to wrap it up. But we appreciate everybody hopping on and chopping it up with us. We'll do it again.
We'll be back next week for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody hopping on and watching, and tell your friends and come back next week. We'll be back. Cast Talk Wednesday, TB and Vinny. Thanks again to Gerard. We'll see y'all later.